what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Good Old Generational Sports. Hope everybody is doing well. It is the day after. It's a tragic day.
It is.
It's a fun day. You know, you get to look back on the NFL season, recap everything, see how wrong your predictions were, see how right your predictions were. And then you come to the slow realization that football will be gone for the next, what is it, like 200 something, 212 days or something of that nature?
201. I think it's
201.
Boston Connor keep us updated all
That is true. That is true. Boston Connor will keep us updated. I mean, listen, if you're only a football fan, it's definitely a sad time.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm not, Josh, you know this. I've kind of fallen out of love with basketball, tragic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's baseball season, baby. I
right
am
around the corner.
locked in. Yankees' first spring training game is in like a week and a half. The season starts in like the end of March. I mean, we're creeping. We're creeping right along.
I'm actually wearing a Cubs hoodie.
Oh yeah, I rock the Yankee sweatshirt on the daily. On the daily, gotta rock the Yankee sweatshirt. But listen, we're here to discuss the Super Bowl because that's what everybody else wants to discuss, and that's what the world is talking about. I don't know what. I wonder. I don't think I've seen the viewership numbers. Have they been released yet?
I haven't seen them. I don't know.
Let me see if they've been released. They usually do.
I feel like this year's numbers are probably crazy.
I'm not seeing it yet, but I mean, listen, they're gonna be 100. What you got to expect? 115, 120 million people. I mean, Josh's dog is going crazy right now. I was about to ask him how he was doing.
Not even my dog, the neighbor's dogs.
Oh, unbelievable. Josh, how are you doing on this post Super Bowl Sunday?
It's not often I say great. I'm doing amazing. It
really must be a miracle.
Yes, I mean, nothing bad happened except for the neck. I got to tell you, when I woke up,
I did see your tweet.
I couldn't look up and I couldn't turn right. I was like, man, this is probably the worst start to the day.
Didn't we talk about that like 2 weeks ago too?
What?
Like if you've ever had is like something wrong with your neck? I could have sworn me and you talked about that like 2 weeks ago, like how bad it is.
Probably. I haven't had it in a long time, and I don't think it's because I slept wrong. I think Bug, my dog, he likes to try to like lay his head on me when he sleeps. He likes to like cuddle. Don't have a problem with, but he must have laid like right on my neck, the whole body, and I just didn't wake up to it because I just woke up in terrible neck pain. Thought for sure it was going to be a bad day, and yeah, it was wound up being a good day. Wound up being a good one.
We love to hear that.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, listen, not bad. Typical. Obviously, we got to get into the bet situation. I know that your futures on the Kansas City Chiefs obviously hit, so that makes you a happy man. I did win a bet. Now, I say I won a bet. I recouped my money, or some of my money, I should say.
That's still a win, though. To get back to business.
Listen, did I win everything back that I bet? Absolutely not. But I did hit a nice little 5-piece on underdog. So I was definitely very happy about that gridiron. I hope everything is well. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. But yeah, I did hit a nice little 5-piece on underdog. So that was nice. I had a few that were a couple legs away, some that I totally missed on. The one that makes me sick to my stomach, no sweat parlay on FanDuel. Deebo Samuel and Isaiah Pacheco. If those two scored a touchdown, those were the only two legs that missed on a 12-leg parlay. I'm $9,000 richer.
I
would have 9,000.
Oh my god!
I think my payout was like 92, 30 something, and like a couple cents. If Deebo and Pacheco has scored touchdowns, those are the only two legs that missed. Because I was shocked, honestly, at how high the odds were. Because I took a lot of alternatives. Like I only had Kelsey for like 40 yards. I only took Debo for 25 yards. Ayuk for 25 yards. Pacheco and McCaffrey for like 40 and 60 rushing. Like I didn't do anything like wild. I think, believe it or not, the thing that boosted me the most is I took the over on Scantling, his receiving yards. And I remember I went from like, because I looked at it, I went from like plus like 15,000 or like 11,000, and I took it out because I got a little nervous about it at one point. It went down to like 5. So I put it back in immediately, and he hit. Like I said, I just needed Debo and Pacheco to score a touchdown. So every time they were close, I was praying. It certainly, obviously, did not happen.
I also did the no sweat. Not quite the same payout, but still was only 11 yards from Rashee Rice away from mine getting. And I only put 20. And how high did you get your odds? Because the 400 is the only way it's a no sweat. I got to 404. I was like, all right, that's more.
Oh no, mine was plus like 11,092.
I didn't do any touchdowns. All of mine were alternate. It was all for.
Like I said, looking back on it, it would have made my odds a lot less. But you obviously wish that you don't put the touchdown in there. But I would have. Listen, I would do it again. I know it lost. I'd still do it again. Like I really thought. I thought Debo would score a touchdown 100%. There was never a thought in my mind that Debo would score a touchdown in that game. And Pacheco too, honestly, because I was like, they're going to be down by the goal line. Bam.
Yeah, I close to it. I couldn't because I just felt wrong to like have to root for something for San Francisco to go that way. So it was all Chiefs for me, and I bet on tails. Rigged. Should have been tails. I don't know how it wasn't tails.
Hasn't it been tails like 8 out of the last 10 years or something?
I don't know, but it was tails in overtime, so I felt kind of like
the head side of the coin is heavier, so that it always lands face down, something like that.
Yeah.
How did you do on the kick of destiny?
I had him making it. Of course, I should have known.
See, I had him missing it. I got my share of $10 million. I got $30.
See, I thought it'd be way less. I thought it would be way less than that. But I think
like 80% of the people were on yes, though. I thought I was getting more. I thought I was getting like 50.
I thought it would have been less either way. Well, you got to think it's $1 million, but hundreds of millions.
$10 million. 10.
Still hundreds of million people picking it though.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, actually, you can kind of figure it out. What, $10 million was the prize pool. If I got $30, that means what, 333,000 people bet that?
No way it's that low. It's got to be way more people than that.
333,000? That's a lot of people.
You don't have to put any money on it. It's literally a click and do that.
Yeah, but you got to also remember the places that betting is even legal. It's not legal in all 50 yet, which is still mind-boggling to me. But anyway,
I don't know. I should have known Gronk. But yeah, I had my future on the Chiefs plus 700. Came up nicely on that. That was the future that I placed after they beat Miami. And my favorite number, my favorite holiday, 420. Made 420 on that. And it was a free bet, so it wasn't even really money I lost on it because I'd look at all sports books, look at the deals they have, and I think it was BetMGM, and it was a 100% deposit match up to $100. So I put in 60, got the free 60, but I didn't know you could only use the free bet on NFL. I was upset when I first saw that, but I was like, might as well put it on the Chiefs and hope. And I got to be honest, that I did not think at all they were going to win until that last drive in overtime and Mahomes had that long run. That was the only moment in the game where I was like, all right, they're going to win. Other than that game was awful for me. Hated every second of it.
My pregame MVP picks were Debo and Pacheco. I mean, safe bets. I mean, obviously, especially if you want to get value, because I mean, obviously, the quarterbacks aren't going to give you the greatest value because that's always what it is anyway. And let me get into the game before I say who I thought the MVP should have been, because I know everybody, especially Josh, no matter what I say, is going to say that I'm hating on Mahomes. I'm not.
You do hate on him.
No, I don't hate on him. I don't. He's the best quarterback in the league. He's the best quarterback in the league. So I mean, now do
number
I
2 all time actually.
number 4?
Number 2 all time.
Oh, they said number 4. I mean, probably.
3 of them. He's only 28.
I mean, obviously Montana has 4.
I'm taking Mahomes.
Well, I'm not. I mean, that's a pretty popular opinion these days. So, and I mean, is he on track to become the GOAT? Yeah, but I mean, Brady did the same thing and then went on a drought for 10 years. So, obviously, you know, we're gonna find out. And then obviously, you know, you got to see how long Kelsey's going to be around. See what Andy Reid, how long he's going to. Yeah,
who's the successor? Like that's going to be the huge
question. The bigger thing to me is Reid, because I think no matter who they have offensively, maybe they won't have, you know, monster seasons, you know, like they were having with Tyreek where they could score easily. Mm-hmm. But I think Andy Reid is always going to be able to figure out how to get the most out of people because listen, we talk about Bill being the greatest coach of all time, maybe the greatest defensive mind of all time. Andy Reid might legitimately be like the greatest offensive coach of all time.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like there's a you can put up a very good argument that
every offense he's coached has been amazing, lights out. Like
yeah, I mean the Eagles' offenses were always good. Obviously, the Chiefs have been. Now, listen, did they win this game or not? Maybe not this game, but like this season was definitely more about the defense. But obviously, the offense was still, you know, very good. So you both think Mahomes is better than Peyton Manning?
Absolutely. If Peyton Manning was playing his whole career in the current social media era, he would get clowned so hard and
listen, see, it's so weird that like, and I mean, it's the most difficult thing to do, but everybody does it anyway. Is you know, crossing errors because like that's the thing too that you see it now is Mahomes' first few years compared to Brady's, and it's like, well, he has so many more touchdowns and so many more yards and everything. Well, you got to remember that Brady's rookie seasons is like 2001.
Right, yeah. The numbers weren't popping off for young quarterbacks.
Yeah, like if you threw for 4,000 yards, you were in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Now you throw for 4,000 yards, and it's like, yeah, 18 other quarterbacks did that too.
Right, yeah.
So like that's and it's weird for Brady too because obviously what's the word I'm looking for here? It starts with a T, but I can't actually think of it. He went across multiple eras. What's it called? It's not like transition. I don't know. It's something. He obviously spanned. Maybe spanned.
Do you know words? Spanned. Do you know what those words are?
Let's go with spanned. He spanned multiple eras, basically. So transcended. There we go. He transcended.
Is that the right word?
Yes, no, it is. I know it sounds like it's not right, but it is right. So like he went across multiple eras. So like obviously the beginning of his career, it's like, okay, this is still like run heavy, blah, blah, play actions. And then obviously by the time he retires, 20 something years later, it's literally everybody throws the ball 84 times a game. Like, I don't know why you guys even thought about running it. So it's kind of weird, like comparing him to things. For Peyton, I mean, listen, Josh is right. If he played in today's era, honestly, if he played in today's era, he's not Peyton Manning because after that rookie season, he would never play again. Yeah, Peyton set the NFL rookie record for interceptions. He would never play another down football again.
It would have. I don't know about that much because he was a top pick, but he would not have bounced back the way he did the rest of his career. Like that bad rookie season, all the coaches would have been fired, which didn't happen in Indy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of bad things, like what's going on in Carolina right now. Everything changes when you have a bad rookie season like that. Everything you knew from rookie season is gone. And
which is always the funniest thing to me because you're drafting in the number one slot because your team is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in a quarterback to your team that's still going to be awful. And then
how many times has a rookie top 3 pick, like their team been really good at? Like CJ Stroud, obviously. He had one of the best of all time. But
Andrew Luck
and RG3, those are the only 3 I can think of really that had
And I mean, because
Monster.
yeah, I mean, even Trevor Lawrence, like the first season they weren't good. Burrow, the first season that they weren't that good, and I think, but I mean, he did get hurt.
Cam put up crazy numbers his rookie year, but the Panthers still sucked.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a difficult thing, but let's get into the game. Obviously, because like I said, that's what the people are here for. But so obviously, Chiefs win the coin toss, they defer, which you expect, and I think that'll definitely come into something later because I don't care what anybody tells me. I got opinions on that overtime. But it's a whole lot of did the Chiefs really win the game or did the 49ers lose it? And I definitely think it's a little bit of both because you look in that first half, not even the first quarter, the first half, 49ers dominated everything. The line of scrimmage, they were after Mahomes. I think they sacked him twice in the first half. They pressured him on, I think at one point he had like 11 dropbacks. He was pressured on 6 of them. So they were getting after him. I talked about Chase Young last week on the show because they were talking about like he wasn't putting in enough effort. And honestly, I was going to say he was one of their best players on defense in that game. So I mean, even if the whole season he wasn't that amazing, weirdly enough, just the Super Bowl kind of made the trade worth it because he was a big part of it. You know what I mean? And if they won the game, he would have been a huge part of it. Obviously, Nick Bosa, he played unbelievably well. Fred Warner's all over the place. And then, of course, Greenlaw is all over the place at the beginning. I was sick to my stomach watching him get hurt on that. Yeah, it sounds so like corny, like, oh, you don't even actually know him, like who cares, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That sucks, man.
I don't wish that on anybody.
Like you have not even like you've worked the entire year for it. Because obviously if you are an NFL player, you probably always knew or at some point knew that you were good enough to be in the NFL. And if you ever had that thought, like, oh yeah, I'm good enough to be in the NFL, or if people have told you like, yeah, you're good enough to be in the NFL, at one point you're also probably like, damn, I'm playing to win a Super Bowl then. Like, yeah, are there people there that are probably just playing because it's going to make you filthy rich for generations? Of course there is. It's naive to think that, people aren't like that. There's like that in every sport.
Yeah.
But like you obviously work so hard to get to the Super Bowl, and it's like if it was on a play, you can almost digest it better. Like if it's on, like you left 100% of yourself out there, like you hurt yourself, making a big play. This man was literally just jogging onto the field, bro.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Like just jogging onto the field, collapse, immediately grabs like I thought it was going to be his ACL because at first it kind of looked like he grabbed his knee. And I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then, later came out that it looks like he tore his Achilles. But I mean, either way, awful. But, the 49ers really controlled everything. Obviously, that first drive, they're going down the field. McCaffrey fumbles. And I kind of, everything happens in the moment, especially, our generation. We were very like in the moment people. So like that happens. I'm like, oh, this game is going to be 100% Chiefs. Like this isn't even going to be a game. That's McCaffrey's fumbles like 3 times the entire regular season. Like this never happens. Of course, he's going to fumble now. So we talked about momentum, like how important it is. But it's almost good too that it happened at that point because you obviously have enough time to recover. Like if that happens late in the game, where like with the Lions, it was the absolute worst time to fumble because the momentum was starting to shift a little bit, and then you fumbled, and it really changed everything around. This was like, okay, so our first drive of the game, like, yeah, were we at least going to get a field goal? Absolutely, but we have time.
They were moving. They were scoring.
Oh yeah, no, they were probably going to score, but like I'm saying, worst comes to worst, they're getting a field goal. Like they are getting points out of that.
Yeah,
and the turnover, but the Chiefs end up doing absolutely nothing with it. Eventually, the 49ers go down and score on that little trick pass.
I lost my mind on that play. Like, so stupid.
Bro, I didn't think the ball was getting there. They said Jawan Jennings
was in the air for so long.
25 minutes. 25
and
minutes, the
then
ball was in the
just
air.
right in the breadbasket, and then it was just a 30-yard dash from McCaffrey to the end zone, like nothing in sight. I was like, of course, that's how they score.
Like when that ball was in the air, it literally felt like a movie or a TV show, slow motion, corny thing. I was like, oh my god! And then you see the Chief defender jetting towards the ball. And I'm like, oh my god, this is a pick six. And they show the replay that I think it was an offensive lineman, like kind of got out there and gave him a little push and knocked him over and kind of saved everything. But I was definitely thinking for a while there, I was like, oh, this is just terrible. Obviously, he goes down, scores. They kick a field goal at one point as well. It was 10-0, longest field goal in NFL Super Bowl history. Obviously,
55 was the longest.
Yeah, 50. I mean, don't get me wrong. See what the craziest thing too is that like we're shocked it's not longer. If you told somebody 30 years ago that's a kicker made a 55-yard field goal, it would have been like witchcraft.
Yeah, like how? How do you do that? Drug test them.
Like, I mean, obviously Vinatieri was out here banging field goals from long and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But then you think about it, all the other kickers, like they've obviously been attempted, but the pressure in a Super Bowl, they've probably missed so many of those 50-plus yard ones. Like, just
so I mean, he hits like a 55-yarder, and then I believe going into half is when Butker kicked the 57 that became the longest field goal, or was that later in the game?
That was later. The one at half got me mad because obviously in this game, the way I'm going to talk about it sounds like I'm a Chiefs fan and not, I hate the 49ers, but it was all because of the bet. But
literally just because you have a bet on it. But I mean, like, that's what happens. That's what happens when you put money on anything. You're automatically their number one supporter.
Before that last drive, before the half, the Chiefs only had one good play, and that was a deep ball to Hardman. That was the one good play they had the entire half, but Pacheco fumbled. And so they didn't get any points out of that drive. But they do that very long drive, and then it was like 2nd and 4 with about 30 seconds left. And so in my mind, you take 2 shots at the end zone and you settle for 3 if you don't get it. But then they run the ball with Rashee Rice on 2nd down, and you get stuffed at the line. And I'm like, why would you run the ball? You got 2 shots at the end zone to get 7 before the half. You're in Bucky range.
What am I thinking of when Mahomes ran it up the middle?
Overtime? When he had the long run in overtime?
No, wasn't that Mahomes that ran the ball up the middle, got like no yards, and then
that was like on first. That was like so they got a first down after he did.
No. I'm thinking of them going into overtime. Now that I look back on it, I'm pretty sure. Remember, Mahomes ran it up the middle for like 1 yard, and even Tony Romo was like, "You got to spike the ball here. You got to spike the ball here," and they did another play after that, and it was that's what I'm thinking. Just
throwing a completion. Yeah, that was the going into overtime, but it got me mad because I'm like, you can take 2 shots at the end zone here, and you decide to run it up the middle, not even with Pacheco. Like, I get it if you're like, hey, let's see if Pacheco can get in there. Why are you handing it off to Rashee Rice? Like, let's try to get 7 here. And then they get an incompletion, kick the field goal going into half. And I got to tell you, I thought it was already over. I was like, the way the Chiefs just played and the way the 49ers were playing, like the 49ers started super hot with that first drive before the fumble. But then the Chiefs defense picked it up. Like the Chiefs defense was balling out that the rest of the game up until the fourth quarter, where both teams were kind of going back and forth, and it became a fun game again. But like the Chiefs had that one drive, and I just thought Andy Reid would be like, "Hey, we have not been able to do anything this game. We have to capitalize and get 7 here." So it just didn't make a lot of sense there for me. And then, the second half, I think when did was the fumble on the punt in the late third quarter, right? That was late third.
I want to say it was because the Chiefs offense still hadn't done anything.
Yeah, they came out of the second half and fumbled. Pacheco fumbled. It was like 2nd and 14, and then they went 3 and out their first 3 possessions of the second half. Like nothing was going good for them. But so was the 49ers. Like both defenses were just not letting anything happen.
What was it? In like real time minutes, they said it was like 101 since the last time the 49ers had gotten a first down. Like the 49ers were struggling.
Like the only thing that happened good for the Chiefs was they were able to get into field goal range, and that's when Butker, broke Moody's record that lasted a quarter or something, 2 quarters. But that fumble, like that's the football gods just.
Oh no, that was the game. That was the game. See, like that. If I was you, that's exactly when I would have relaxed. Because the
No, I did
minute,
not. I got hype, but then we score, and then the 49ers drove down and scored a touchdown again very easily. They missed the extra point, which was when I kind of came back, but like it felt like the 49ers were just complacent with the 10-3 lead, and then they were complacent with 10-6, and then the punt happens and score the very first play after that. Like I felt back for a second, but then the Niners just drove down the field with such ease and scored again. But then when the kick got blocked, I was all the way back. I was
I mean, that's just the turning point of the game.
yeah.
Like, and you know, at first too, looking at it, I remember, you know, just watching, I'm like, that kick return is an absolute idiot. Like, why are you
Ray
trying to touch the
McLeod.
ball?
I was like, what is he doing? Why would
No,
he even try to go for that?
yeah. But I mean, and then obviously, you know, you see that it kicks off a teammate's legs, whatever. But listen, I'm still kind of calling him stupid. Why does everybody have to be the hero? Listen, I know it's a great story and everything, but fall on the ball. Know where you are on the field. Know the situation. Like, why are you trying to pick it up and be the hero and make a return? Just fall on it.
I think he was probably more thinking. Obviously, it's bang bang. In hindsight, you're 100% right, but I think he was probably thinking, like, if I dive on it, someone's going to slide in and knock me off of it because the gunners are running full speed right there. So that's I kind of get what he was trying to do, but yeah, hindsight, just get on the ball, just get possession. That's all that matters. I mean, Chris Conley was destroying any type of field position for the Chiefs on every punt. Like it really was a punter show. Like it was just.
Oh no, Mitch Wisniewski, dog.
Yeah, he was. And Chris Conley, I mean, special teams player of the year just off of that game alone. I mean, he makes play after play. He downed it at the 1. He had that big tackle. Who's the Chief? Richie James. He had a big tackle on Richie James, kept him inside
when he one-armed him.
Yeah, clotheslined him.
I watched that. That might be one of the only times I've ever gotten like out of my seat for a special teams play. Like he did that, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this man on?
It was a hell of a play. I mean, he was not giving the Chiefs any room to do anything. But it just really came down to Mahomes. He started doing what Mahomes does. I mean, honestly, well, first I want to ask this. If the 49ers won, who do you think would have won Super Bowl MVP?
McCaffrey.
You don't think Juwan Jennings deserved it?
No. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Was he a very important key part?
He's the only reason they were doing anything.
McCaffrey had a receiving and a rushing touchdown.
No, but Juwan Jennings was the heart of that team. The throwback, boom, that.
No, listen, I understand. I understand, but I mean, McCaffrey had 9 catches, 80 yards.
No, McCaffrey balled out 100%, but I think Juwan Jennings had a bigger impact on that game. We're talking big plays and, the plays he made. I think Juwan Jennings.
I mean, listen, impact, I don't know. I can never say that anybody on that team has a bigger impact than McCaffrey because he's the entire team. Like, no matter what you want to say.
That game alone, I think Juwan Jennings had a bigger impact.
I mean, listen, hold on, let's just 80. I'm stupid, so let me do. I mean, the man has 160 total yards by himself and 2 touchdowns. Like, I know he threw a touchdown pass, and he also caught one, but 160 total yards.
But that's expectations from McCaffrey. That's week after week. Juwan Jennings was a hero.
Well, yeah, but we can't go based off expectation. If we go based off
that's the same reason why Malcolm Smith got his, and not Russell Wilson or Marshawn Lynch when they won it, or no one else on the defense, because he had a pick 6 in that game and was a hero. Without Juwan Jennings stepping up because Ayuk and everyone else wasn't, Kittle wasn't balling. I know Debo and Kittle both got hurt a little bit, but Juwan Jennings was really a huge
Kittle
reason
not being involved literally at all, shocking.
Yeah, they kind of did a Ravens situation. They were running the ball early, but when the Chiefs started battling back in, they kind of went away from McCaffrey a little bit in terms of running the ball. I'm going to put this on
record right now. Kyle Shanahan is the biggest choke artist in NFL history.
Man, he's going through it.
I mean, you got 28-3 against the Patriots. But see, here's my problem with him. Obviously, like, you're not going to get an argument that he's an absolutely fantastic coach. Like, we've seen what he's done with the team, great offensive mind, everything like that. My problem comes in with, like, the most basic thing in the world. You've made the same mistake 3 times now. The Patriots are down 28-3, and you're like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to pass the ball all the time. The only reason the Patriots got back in the game is the Dante Hightower fumble. Why is he even in the position to make him fumble? Because you're dropping back and passing when you're up 28-3. Like, if you run the ball literally every play the entire second half, the Patriots legitimately don't have enough time to come back. You're up against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl previously. You're throwing it with Jimmy Garoppolo when obviously they're a run team there. Even in this game, like you said, did McCaffrey not have a lot of yards per carry? No, I think he averaged like 2.3.
He had a couple big runs that really made the numbers pop. He had a couple really big
but he obviously wasn't getting a lot of yards per carry, but that is what brought you there. And they are, I don't know if I said it on this show or I said it on the hard count, but like we hear about explosive pass teams all the time, obviously, like Miami, explosive pass team, like all of a sudden one play, it's a 70-yard touchdown. That's what the 49ers are, except on the ground. They are like a 2-yard, 3-yard, 2 yards again, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden McCaffrey's gone for 80.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of team that they are. And you saw it, like you said, in that game, he had a few times where, he had a couple, 8-9 yard runs, which, obviously are very good for you, but, I don't know how you get away from the run, especially like I said, that's what got you there.
I think they had like those 3 and outs just kept on coming and he just panicked. He's like, we got to start taking more shots. And to be honest, Purdy missed a couple of throws that would have been 6. Like, I don't think that Ayuk was a missed throw. I think it was miscommunication. I think they both did the wrong thing. Purdy threw it straight and Ayuk went straight when Ayuk should have faded to the corner.
Ayuk has to fade left. Left.
But then that miss to Debo, like you can say he got hit and that's why he missed a throw, but it's the biggest game. This is the biggest stage. You got to make that play. You got to give Debo a chance on that one to at least try to catch it.
Yeah, and then you also obviously you give credit to the Chiefs defense, obviously, because listen, Steve Spagnuolo has to be in the Hall of Fame. Like he has 4 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator, and I was just listening to the radio on the way home, some of the sports shows that I listened to. Think of the people that he shut down in these Super Bowls.
Seriously.
He shut down the 07 Patriots. He shuts down the 11 Patriots. Shuts down the Eagles. Well, not really shuts down the Eagles. Honestly, that was a high-scoring game. But still
finds a way to slow them down. Like somehow.
Exactly. Finds a way to beat them.
Yeah.
And then shuts down this 49er team. Like, that is a crazy resume there. What's up, guys? Purdy's legit now. I got no problem with Purdy. What's going on, Michael? How we doing, Mr. Cat Shadow?
Cam Newton's looking pretty today. It was a good end of the season for Cam Newton. I'll say that much. Hell of a run.
You thinking Purdy's a game manager?
I don't think game manager is a diss.
It always has been, though. You know that.
Yeah, because the context behind it makes it seem like that. But, dude, you know how many Hall of Famers were game managers? Quite a few of them.
I feel like game manager back in the day doesn't hurt you because that's what everybody kind of was. But game manager now is like a diss
because now if you're not Josh Allen, Burrow, or Mahomes, you're not good. Like that's what it is. Now. That's why
that is fair enough.
That's why
it's what's funny to me. You know what's funny to me, and maybe that's why everybody said Brady was a game manager, like towards the end of his career, like that all of a sudden became the narrative. And see, I don't know. I just came up with this. And I think I'm brilliant for this. I really do think game manager has just become pocket quarterback.
Yeah, seriously. Like you're not
if you are running around and jumping over people, you're a game manager. Like you're not a good quarterback.
Stafford is a game manager, and he's an amazing player. He's a game manager though.
Like you're not a pocket passer anymore.
No,
you're a pocket passer. If you're a pocket passer, you are a game manager.
Yeah. And now what is it? Scramblers are game changers? Is that
like now all of a sudden they're the if you were scrambling
they're not prototypes anymore. There's 2 categories. You either run or you don't.
You're a game manager or you're good.
Yeah, that's unfortunately how people view it. Like it's a bad label now. But Purdy, did he have the best game ever? No. But he wasn't terrible. He didn't sell the game.
Listen, he didn't put the ball in harm's way. He didn't throw an interception, right? No.
No. He almost did start overtime, but
Yeah.
no.
Well, that and the other one, Debo. That Debo kind of turned into the defensive, the
Yeah,
DB.
Trent McDuffie had clamps all night. He was
Oh yeah, no,
balling
I mean
out.
that man's a dog. Here,
Outside of that one
listen. I
defensive
know it
holding
wasn't going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because it's the Super Bowl. But you think if this is a regular season game, Snead gets ejected?
for the
I
slap
mean,
on
this
ice.
man literally slapped him in the face in front of
That
a
was the
referee.
dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's an immediate flag when you put your hand in a guy's face like that. Like, I don't think he gets thrown out for that though. No.
I don't know. I feel like if this is a regular season game, there's a lot more made of that.
I mean, no. You got to do a lot worse than just one slap to the face to get ejected. I mean,
Right.
Josh
I mean,
Norman and Odell, when they were going at it,
yeah,
no
but
one
the
got
rule
ejected.
changed because of them.
I know, but that stuff has still happened, and guys don't always get ejected. I think targeting gets you more ejected than
Is there
getting
targeting
chippy
in
with
the
them.
NFL? Right?
Huh?
Or technically, targeting is technically in the NFL now.
Yeah, definitely is. Happened a lot this year. A lot of ejections.
But is that actually called targeting? Like in
It
college,
depends.
or
There's
is it like an
unnecessary
unsportsmanlike?
roughness.
Right?
There's unnecessary roughness, and then there's like clear intent to lead with the head and hit with the head, and then that's targeting. It happened only a couple like primetime games. I remember a couple ejections from that.
Aren't all QBs game managers? They are coach on the field managing everything, and this game manager would be Rex Grossman. I mean, yeah, there's definitely the argument that obviously all quarterbacks are game managers because you quite, like you said, you quite literally are managing the game and figuring everything out. But like we said, it's become like a derogatory term for quarterbacks. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, you're a game manager, who? Like you're
Unless
useless
my
to me.
quarterback is, those top guys, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, I would probably prefer my quarterback to play like a game manager than play hero ball. Like I would rather have who's a good example? Like Jameis Winston is a game changer, but in a bad way. He tries to play
Yeah, because
hero
he
ball a
ruins
lot. Yeah, he's not a game manager. He's a game changer, but not good. And who's a
like
I don't know.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. Like absolutely, he's a game manager that I would want if I don't have the top guys. Like if I don't have the top guys, give me someone who's going to take care of the ball and make the right plays that we need, and let the other guys do the rest of the work. It's not a diss, but it's not going to get to a point ever where people are like, he's a game manager. It's good for him. It's never going to come to that.
It also seems like a player who is screaming on the sidelines and when is passionate if they lose their malcontent. No, that's absolutely true. That is 100% true. And it also depends on the position too. Depends on the position as well. If you're a quarterback, you're absolutely allowed to do it. If you're a wide receiver, immediate problem in the locker room.
Diva player, only about himself.
There's a lot of little stupid narratives that go around the NFL that, like, if you pay close enough attention to, it is wild who gets it and who doesn't. I think it was AJ Brown tweeted out like if I did that to my head coach, they would have like arrested me or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, we saw AJ Brown get into it a couple times with Hurts and Sirianni, and it was like, oh, AJ Brown's ruining the locker room this year with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of surprised they didn't make more of it a big deal on CBS. They were just like, wow, look at this. And then they just immediately moved on.
Like, Romo was pissing me off that whole game. I mean, he was just Captain Obvious the entire game.
Like, you know what? Romo was really good when he started. I cannot stand him now.
So many times he was like, they're trying to get the best players the ball. No shit, bro.
No, he's like,
they're the best players. Yeah, they get the ball.
No. The thing that annoyed me the most, they're trying to get their best players off of their best players. Wow.
Genius.
You're telling me you want them to have a good matchup, Tony? I would have never guessed.
It was just so annoying the entire game. I couldn't handle it. And he stole Jim Nance's every big moment where Jim Nance was about to just have a great call, something iconic about it. Like the last touchdown to Miko to win it. Jim Nance was in the middle of saying what he's going to say. And you just hear Tony like, oh my God. Like just doing something
I know.
stupid.
I hate. Oh my God. No, I can't.
Should have been Greg Olsen out there. Should have been.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was CBS, I would absolutely try and get Greg Olsen to be my top analyst. I know it won't happen because Tony signed like a 10-year contract for $25 million a season.
I don't care. Pay him out. Give him the payout and buy him out and be like, Greg,
listen, I will say Greg Olsen is fantastic. Like, he is very good at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am much more excited to hear Tom Brady next year. That's obviously because I'm a Patriot fan and Tom Brady is a fan. But like, Greg Olsen being demoted feels so wrong.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it is what it is. But Tony was ruining it. But back to the game a little bit. In overtime, I'll tell you when I really thought it was completely over. I thought we were going to win for sure because they lose yards. It's like 3rd and 14.
Oh, that holding call! I was like, oh my god, they did not.
Well, first I thought Bolton, like in the back of my head, I was like, man, a turnover here would be so nice. And that ball comes off Debo's hands and Bolton's right there under it and couldn't get the pick. I was like, oh my god, no. But then, they get backed all the way up and Purdy throws it like an incompletion. It gets hit. And I'm celebrating. I'm like, they got to punt it. They can't go for this. And then they don't even put the flag notification thing on the scoreboard. Couldn't see the flag where it was thrown. Nope. All you hear is Tony's stupid face say, no, hold on, there's a holding. And I think it's on Kansas City. I'm like, no, are you kidding me? I thought the game was over right there because I thought it was just yardage penalty. I didn't know it was automatic first down. I was like, oh my God, an automatic first down from 3rd and 14. And then McCaffrey breaks one down the sideline for like 30 yards. Like, it's over. It's over. But then when they kicked the field goal, I was like, okay, we got a chance. But then the drive wasn't great at first, but Mahomes broke one for like 25 to get them close to field goal range. And right then and there, I was like, yep, we got it. We got it.
And obviously, like you said, the Chiefs kind of go down. They score the touchdown. They end up winning the game, become Super Bowl champions. Here's my 2 things on the overtime. Well, number 1, and the biggest thing, I do not care how many people are going to tell me about, like, there's an argument for both sides. The fact that you don't defer there is I don't care. No, really? You have to defer. You have to defer.
Really?
Why would you not defer?
I disagree. I disagree.
How?
Give me the ball. I'm going to score.
It doesn't matter. The team gets the ball back anyway.
Right. And so then if they match you, you go down again. I want it first. I don't want to have to be playing from behind. In no situation do I want to play from behind or have a chance at playing from behind.
Okay. Here's the easy counter argument. I get an extra down and know what I have to do. And also, here's
but that's playing what if. That's playing what if. I want the ball first. Just give me the ball first. I don't want them to have it.
No. Because you also have to know who you're playing. And this is why analytics don't make any sense because they don't take the situation into account. There's very few people that, like, you're actually scared of if they have the ball in a final drive. Like, you don't want to give Brady the opportunity. You didn't want to give Peyton the opportunity.
I think there are 2 in the NFL right now. There's only 2 for me that I think for sure never.
Mahomes?
Allen and Mahomes. I think Allen and Mahomes are the only 2.
Why would you ever give Mahomes 4 downs to play with?
I completely get where you're coming from. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying for me, I'm always taking the ball first. Like, I'm going to dictate what you have to do. Like, I'm going to say, hey, I scored 7, match me. I'm not going to say, hey, I hope they don't score. Because then what if the team that, like, you defer it, Mahomes goes down, scores, they get ballsy, let's go for 2, our defense is balling out. Now you got to come back from 8. It's already a touchdown, and you have to have it then. If you get the ball first, it's not a have to have it. You don't lose if you don't score the first drive. You still get a chance to stop them. If you don't stop them the first time, it's do or die. So I want the ball first. Let me dictate what you have to do.
I would much rather have an extra down to play with.
I don't think that's it, though.
That is absolutely
not nowadays. Everybody goes for it on 4th down when it's the first quarter and there's 8 yards to go in your own territory.
Yeah, but now you're doing it in a situation. If they like in this situation, you're in the, especially if you end up kicking a field goal, you're in a golden opportunity because now you have an extra down to play with, so you can gain 2 yards on first down, and it's really not that big of a deal because you still have 3 downs to play with instead of 2. So you're going for it on fourth down no matter what. Then once you get into field goal range, you're good to at least continue the game, and your defense has an opportunity once again to get a stop. Or
but having that in the back of your head, I have an extra down to play with, can also make you shoot yourself in the foot. Because then, let's say it's 3rd and 6. Hey, I'm going to run the ball here so you can get it 4th and short. That's kind of shooting yourself in the foot when instead you should be, hey, we got 2 chances to get the first down. Teams don't think of it like that. It's, hey, we know we're going for it on 4th. Let's make it a little bit shorter. Either way, it's going to come down to we have to have it here.
Let's see what Gridiron's got to say. In my opinion, the only reason the Eagles beat the Pats was aggressive coaching. I think Shanahan was right to take the ball. Should have went for the TD only because he was playing Patrick Mahomes. See that, but that's 90% of the decision too.
I think overtime you got to think 7 either way. I don't understand settling for 3 in overtime. I don't understand that, because if you get 3, then it's like, okay, they can still beat us here. Like, it's not like, oh, we saved ourselves a little bit. It's like, hey, they scored a touchdown, GG's.
Yeah, but at least if they kick a field goal, you don't lose the game. You continue on and you get the ball back, to your point.
No, I'm just saying playing from behind just doesn't make sense when it's that situation. Like, you're setting yourself up to be in a do or die situation where if you get the ball first, you can force them to do or die.
I just don't want to give – I'm never trying to give my opponent another down for fun. I mean –
I'm also not trying to give them the ball first in a game like that or a situation like that.
Yeah, but you are if this was the old overtime, I understand, but you are guaranteed to get the ball again no matter what. And you now know what you have to do.
Just because you get the ball back doesn't mean you're not playing from behind. You're still playing from behind.
Who cares?
I think teams that don't want to be losing care. I don't want to be losing.
The Chiefs said they were shocked when they did it. They said Andy Reid said that he absolutely would have deferred.
I don't care what he said. I disagree.
I don't. You're playing with an extra down. You know what you have to match.
Fourth down is still always there. It's not an extra down. It's not.
It is an extra down.
Go for it. No, you have to go for it. Yeah.
No,
you never get fourth down. You never get fourth down in any other part of the game.
So why didn't the 49ers go for it then?
Because they're stupid. I thought we established Shanahan choke job that one. You go for it.
But he choked it by his play calling in the second half, not because of that. In fact, I think his bigger choke was electing to receive it. I think that the minute he said we'll take the ball, the game was over. The minute he said they would take the ball, immediately right there, I knew the game was over. If you get the ball first in that situation, and you were on your own 20-yard line on a 4th and 3, you have to punt the ball there. Because if you don't get it, the other team gets it immediately, kick a field goal, the game's over. If you are the other team and they even say kick a field goal like the 49ers did, it's 4th and 1 on your, or 4th and 3 on your own 20-yard line. You now know you have to go for it. So you are playing with an extra down no matter what, because you know what to do.
But the defense also knows you're going for it. It's not like it's a shock to them.
But either. It doesn't matter. You still have another chance, because on 4th down, it is not a punt. It is another play.
It's another play regardless of the situation.
Yeah, but this time it's not you giving the ball back to the other team. And listen, to your point too, what if you defer it, like I think they should have done? The 49ers get a stop in that first one. Now all of a sudden they're the team that's playing in sudden death, where if they kick the field goal, they win the game automatically.
Absolutely, but that's certainly a possibility, but also situation-wise. Situation-wise says, hey, I don't want to give Mahomes the ball right away. I don't. I want him to think about it maybe a little bit.
And what situation do you want Mahomes to be able to use 4th downs?
They use him all the time. All I'm saying is, hey, I'd like to go get 7 here. They have to match
here's my
us.
thing.
I don't want to have to match you. I don't want to have to match you. I want you to match me.
Do you think on that 4th and 1, where were they? Their own 42?
No, they were closer. It was only like a 40-yard field goal. It wasn't.
Yeah, but Mahomes got like a 21-yard run.
Oh, you talking about the Chiefs?
Yes. On that 4th and 1, they were at their 40-yard line, 42?
Yeah, close to midfield.
Do you think that if they got the ball first, they would have went for it still, or they would have punted it?
Yeah, they'd gone for that one.
I think they would have punted it.
Nah,
Andy Reid did it earlier in the game.
This is overtime. They're gonna go for the win either way. It doesn't matter the extra down or situation. I want the ball first because I'm gonna go score at whatever cost. I don't want to play from behind.
I mean, obviously, it's an agree to disagree because I will absolutely play from behind and know what I have to.
There's none of this. You're playing from behind. It's do or die now.
But you're saying that you're not actually getting an extra down when you absolutely are. I don't understand where that's coming from.
You know you're going for it? Is that the extra down?
You know you have 4 downs because no matter what, if you don't get it on those 4
game today, though. The game today is there's always an extra down. MCDC has proved that. The Eagles proved that.
No, there isn't. So teams never punt on 4th down.
Not as often as they used to. The tush push exists. MCDC exists. These teams go for 4th down all the time.
Okay, but we're going to act like you don't punt it 80% of the time?
I'm not saying they don't, but you're acting like this extra down is only in overtime when you defer. It exists all the time.
We see it all the time at the end of games anyway, when teams are down and they go for it on 4th down in a situation they normally never would because they know they have to score.
It's a pointless argument. We're against each other on every point we've both made. We have not agreed on a single thing about this.
Like I said, I don't understand the argument. But
I don't understand yours either, Steve.
It's fine. That's the whole point of programs like this. Everybody has their
beautiful because it's good to hear both sides of stuff like this because a lot of people will concede, but me and Connie,
no, I will fight till the death for everything that I believe in.
How cringe was Travis Kelce though? And Viva.
I mean, you know that I think he's cringy. Like. I enjoy him a little bit on the podcast, but I think it's more because I like Jason, so I kind of deal with him.
The brother dynamic.
I like the brother dynamic, but him by himself, screaming in, and the whole fight for your right to party thing is so cringy to me.
I love that. I screamed it, but I was in the zone, dude. I've never had a team of mine I watched and celebrated when the Cubs won. But I wasn't a baseball.
Yeah, but you didn't care as much.
Yeah, my dad's the diehard, and I was watching it with him because I've only seen my dad cry a couple times, and that was one of them. Was with the Cubs for the World Series. It was
103 years, I think.
Yeah, he's a diehard, so that was the only one. I've never had a moment where my team won it, but I think it probably feels similar to how I felt last night. I think it probably feels
similar. And here's my thing too. Because people like Gronk, people think Gronk is so annoying and stupid and
I hate him right now. Make the kick, dude. Are you a bum? Make the damn kick.
It was so obvious to me that he was going to miss that.
When I saw him lined up, I was like, "Oh, he's not."
I missed it. I went upstairs to go get another beverage.
It was 5 seconds. It was so quick.
I went upstairs.
Came on. She was like, "Kicking Destiny," and then nothing. And then Gronk shanks it, and he does this, and I'm like. What he's wearing an old school helmet, old helmet, leather. Dude, when I saw him line up, he looked like he had no shot at it. Like he had never taken a kick since last year's kick of destiny. It's oh my God.
See, like I said, I actually went upstairs to get another beverage, and I came back down, and I saw the tail end of it. I didn't even actually see it. I heard it a little bit, and my mom was watching it, and I'm like, did he make it? And she's like, I don't think so. And I was like, what do you mean? Did he make it? I gotta know. I bet no. So I still can't believe it's only $30.
On my no sweat bet, you know what I did immediately with it after?
OKC to win the
put it right back on the Chiefs. Plus
750 did you? Next year. Repeat, huh?
Plus 750. 3P. Plus 750 next year.
Hey, listen, fair enough.
49ers are the favorite.
I know, I saw that.
I thought that was kind of weird. I feel like this loss is going to hurt way worse and have way more.
We just have to look at the circumstances. No matter what, it's an easier path for them to get back. The NFC is still not good.
I
And
don't know. I think the NFC is
listen,
getting a
Hassan
little better.
Reddick all of a sudden is seek permission to trade
Yeah,
from the Eagles, so they look like they're going to end up getting worse. The Cowboys choke every single season, so like
the Lions, though. The Lions.
I mean, yeah, the Lions absolutely. You expect the Packers to be better, but
The
still,
Panthers.
no matter what.
Mike Evans, baby. And T. Higgins.
I mean, there's a couple teams with like a lot of money in cap space. Like, don't the Saints all of a sudden have like 80 million in cap?
Yeah, somehow we have none. I think we have 20 mil.
I think the Patriots have like 60, and I just genuinely don't understand where the cap.
I don't either. Like, I try to think, like, who are we paying? Because we're not
That's
paying
what I'm
Brian
saying.
Burns.
Like the team
Who are we
sucks.
paying?
How are we
Yeah,
spending this much money?
Like, who's got like, I know we paid Dante Jackson, but outside of that, it's like, where's
Yeah,
the
like
money?
the Patriots paid Judon. Like, who else is making money? Who else is making more than minimum wage on that team?
It's all the dead cap. That's really where, like, you look at it. It's like,
But I don't
okay,
even know who has dead cap space on the pads. Brady's been gone for 5 years now.
When you look at it, it'll be the most random players. Like, we have dead cap on Matt Corral. Who else? We have dead cap on so many guys. It doesn't even math. And also another Panthers thing while we're here. Matt Rule saying I wanted Brock Purdy on the draft board, but I got vetoed. This is the same guy that took a long snapper in the 6th round, only drafted guys from Temple and Baylor, and only drafted Chuba Hubbard because his wife liked him. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that guy had Mr. Irrelevant.
I love when all those things come out. What
So
didn't it come out too that like Frank Reich wanted to draft CJ Stroud and the owner said no?
Yep.
It always comes out after the fact. I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess it can't really come out while you're still the head coach because then that's going to be an awkward meeting. But like,
I kind of buy that Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud because leading up to the draft and even during the season when Frank was the coach, every time it came up that like how Stroud and all that was going, he just kept bringing up like it was a collective decision. Like it wasn't just me; it was collective. Everyone was involved. And Tepper was saying the same thing.
I have terrible news for you, Josh. That's why you'll never have a good head coach.
Yeah, David Tepper is a detriment to this team.
Like,
it's
Jerry Jones, you kind of deal with because the brand is so big and like they've had success previously, but like also because you're probably going to be like the highest paid coach and have a lot of notoriety. But like, why am I going to deal with an annoying owner as the Panthers head coach?
I'll tell you one thing. The press conference with our coach and GM, I liked a lot. I like Dan Morgan just looking like an absolute psychopath and never blinking. And then they tried to ask Tepper questions, and he said, "I'm in the background now." I don't buy it, but I hope I have hope that that's true. I don't buy it, but we'll see.
I was going to say no more Monday meetings.
No, I think it'll probably be like a bi-weekly meeting now. He's going to cut back a little bit.
Growth. We call that growth, Josh.
But hey, we got a big draft coming up. You know, we got the 5th round pick from the McCaffrey trade that everyone told me was a genius trade.
No, I don't want to hear anything about any complaints about your draft picks because I promise you, I absolutely promise you that if the Patriots trade back like I started seeing in the number 3s, they're going to address the quarterback position in free agency and trade back.
You don't want Ryan Tannehill.
I will have a meltdown for the ages.
There's some good free agents out there. Jameis, Tannehill, Kirk Cousins.
Brother, let me tell you something. If the Patriots trade back that pick and don't get like 84 first-round picks, I'm going to have an absolute aneurysm.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous situation there.
No, it's not. It's not. Just stay there.
Well, I think if it goes Caleb Williams, you guys have 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it goes Caleb Williams, Drake May, I would trade back if I'm New England.
Did you also see the thing that all of a sudden now the Bears were playing around with drafting Caleb Williams and keeping Fields too?
I didn't see that, but that sounds like a nightmare.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You got to pick. You can't have both of them. You got to pick.
I also saw too that the Steelers thoroughly enjoy Justin Fields.
I would love Justin Fields.
And they just cut Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I would love him too. Mitch in New England to Marvin Harrison. That'd be a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My head's right
Reebok.
through one of these walls. That'd be a lovely.
If Gino can bounce back, Mitch can't. So
No,
maybe
I mean,
you're
Mitch Trubisky is not
Mitch's
good at
seat.
football. He's not good at football.
Gino wasn't either.
I don't care. Maybe we can trade Mac. Yeah, maybe for a bowl of actual mac and cheese.
Yeah, trade Mac for Mac. That's about all
Trade
you're
Mac
getting.
for what?
If Trey
Who
Lance
wants
went for
Mac
a
Jones?
6-rounder, if Trey Lance went for a 6-rounder, Mac is going for
Mac is going for Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah,
The
2035 7th rounder. That's
Yeah,
Mac
literally.
Jones' trade value.
Maybe we can trade. Maybe we can do a package deal. Get him and Bailey.
Tell you one thing. Me and Clayton talk about it often. Sam Darnold to Minnesota is a dream scenario for both of us. He can get it done there. Sam Darnold's a baller, man. He's a baller. He's been the best quarterback in Panthers history since Cam Newton.
This is like your Zach Wilson take.
Oh, Zach will be back at some point.
Yeah, he'll be back already.
With a vengeance. And not like a Kittle vengeance, a real vengeance.
No, he'll be back with a Kittle vengeance.
No.
He'll be back and then he'll
once he matures, yeah, he'll be a baller.
Matures, huh?
Yeah. He'll be a real baller.
No, yeah. He'll be balling in Madden. On creative player.
I actually just bought the Game Pass. The horse racing thing, I only bet on 5 of them. I was done with that.
Horse racing?
But
I
only bet on 5 of them. Actually, the horse racing thing, I was already done with it, but I had already placed one at 19-1, and that 19-1 horse won. But then I look at the payout, and somehow it dropped to 5-1. I'm like, but I placed the bet at 19-1. And so I'm emailing FanDuel, and they're like, that's just the way it works. I'm like, you can't just say that. I had it at 19-1, and now it's at 5-1.
That's
I'm done with that. But I need to find something to do because I can't work right now. So I bought the Game Pass, got Madden. I'm in like week 13 of Bryce Young's rookie season. He's already got like 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. It's going wonderful.
The Panthers got to be good somewhere. It might as well be in Madden.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a long road ahead before we're even close.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, pal.
But hey, CJ Stroud is quickly climbing up my favorite quarterbacks list.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Stroud guy.
He's defending Bryce out here, and he's just also very, very fun.
He's just a dog.
Yeah, it hurts, but it's okay because Bryce, CJ said he's the one for a reason. I agree, he's the one.
Probably said that about Ryan Leaf too.
Yeah, but Ryan Leaf sucked. Bryce doesn't.
I don't know.
He don't suck.
Well, listen, I believe we covered.
Nope, we got the UFC 298.
Oh, okay.
Volk versus Ilya Topuria.
Listen, until somebody in the weight class beats Volk, I'll never bet against him, man. He's the guy.
I think this is going to be his toughest test, outside of Islam. I think, like you said, in the weight class, I think Ilya is probably his toughest test just because Ilya's chin is very strong, very similar to Max Holloway and Ortega, who have been the toughest, battles of his career to this point. But that's the main event. Co-main, Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. And Paulo Costa is the same category as John Jones, where you only know he's fighting when he gets in the octagon.
I was going to say, he's like, is it injuries with him or he just pulls out?
He's missed the last 3. The first 2 were he just pulled out. Last one, he had an arm infection, so he couldn't fight.
I was going to say, I feel like I've seen this man supposed to fight like 86 times, and I still don't think I've seen him fight once.
It's actually a very, very nice card.
I know. Listen, these next 2 cards, like, I know 300 is supposed to be like the big thing.
Have you seen the card for 300?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know why people are complaining.
Because they want John Jones versus Stipe and Brock Lesnar versus DC and Connor versus Diaz 3. That's what they expect, but that's crazy. True. Also got Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary on this card. Henry Cejudo versus Merab Delavis. Lots of good fights. And then obviously the next one, Sugar Show is going to put Cheeto to sleep and shut him up.
Who else is on that card? It was supposed to Michael Venom Page, isn't he making his debut on that card?
He is. Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis.
No, Saint Denis backed out.
Oh, yeah. No, that's on. It's on.
I thought he got hurt.
No, I think it's back on.
Are we sure?
Because it was like it went from fights off, and then because no one could agree to terms, and then it came out again like 2 hours later that the fight is on.
Okay.
But yeah, Kevin Holland versus Venom Page.
Is still here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Kevin Holland, Venom Page. That's going to be such a good fight. Someone is going to sleep. Gilbert Burns versus Jack De La Maddalena. Piotr Jan, Song Yadong. Good cards coming up. Good cards coming up. Right when we need them. End of football season. Bring on 3 straight good pay-per-views. Love it.
Like I said, baseball starts in like March. Oh, God.
March Madness is right around the corner. Been locked in on
could not care less about anything. I could not care.
All-Star Weekend coming up. I don't like how Malik Beasley's in the 3-point contest, but Isaiah Joe can't get in. Like, what are we doing?
I literally don't think I know a single. Who's in is the dunk contest like happening?
Yeah, it's Jaylen Brown, Obi Toppin's little brother, Mac McClung. Who's fourth? Who's the fourth guy?
Yeah, the dunk contest is ass now. Oh my God!
I don't know what people expect though. Everything's been done, and stars don't want to do it anymore. Like, what do you?
That's what I understand about part of like everything being done. Like, I know there's only so much creativity, but like half of it is like stars actually doing it because like you want to see the stars like do stuff. They just don't do it anymore.
Stars haven't done it since Dwight Howard, and then we got lucky with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon going back and forth for a couple of years. But I mean, you know, when you look at the field, I hate how people complain on the night of. Like, you saw the contestants. You think Jaylen Brown's going to go from the free throw line between the legs? No, it's not going to happen. Obi Toppin's brother,
like power.
Mac McClung,
Brown's going to do like power slams.
Mac McClung is he put on a show last year, and I think Obi Toppin's little brother can do something similar. Who's the fourth guy? I'm looking at it.
Honestly, I looked it up like literally like a week ago. Who was in the dunk contest because somebody was talking about it, and I was like, I genuinely, I'm pretty sure I looked it up and it didn't have any answers for me. So I didn't even know if it was like happening, I guess, in a way.
I think the skills challenge would be cool because Victor Wembanyama's in it. So that's going to be cool.
Is Chet in it?
No.
Oh, unbelievable.
Who? Okay. Yeah, Mac McClung because he's the champion. Jaylen Brown. Jaime Jaquez. He's got bounce like that, the Heat rookie.
I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of it.
Played at UCLA, plays for the Heat. I didn't know he had bounce like that, but yeah, him and Jacob Toppin. Jacob Toppin can jump out the gym, and I like the G. I think going with G League guys is the way to go. They want to put on a show. They want to make a name for themselves.
I'm simply watching it for Steph versus Ionescu.
That's gonna be awesome, and all the dweebs on Twitter. Well, we'll tell her to use an NBA ball. She doesn't play with an NBA ball, brother. She plays with a WNBA ball. Simple.
People are just bored and hate women.
I know. It just never makes sense to it. They're like, oh, Steph Curry would cook her. Yeah, no crap, dude. That's why they're not in the same league. There's a league for women and a league for men. Doesn't mean they're bad. I hate when people say they're bad at basketball. They do it for a living, and they're very good at it. Compared to NBA guys, no. But compared to women, yes, they're compared to you sitting at home on your couch. Yeah, she cooked
with your Cheeto fingers.
Seriously, like they're like, oh, I could cook her. No, you couldn't. Asia Wilson,
I'm telling you right now, Caitlin Clark is giving anybody 30. 30.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, they're putting any of these dudes talking in a body bag. So it's crazy, but I'm excited for All-Star Weekend. I am excited.
Yeah. Well,
Chet and Jaden are on the same Rising Stars team, so that's gonna be fun.
That should be fun. It was a fun show. I will say that. Talked about the Super Bowl, UFC. Make sure if you missed anything, listen, you go back and watch it. I appreciate everybody leaving comments. Michael, Gridiron, of course. Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for this edition. Anthony Conover _ over there on Twitter, Gen Z Sports on Twitter as well. Make sure you like, subscribe for more content throughout the year. And Josh, what about you?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter X, whatever you call it, at Jolin _4. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, tune in Monday, 7 Eastern.
Well, listen, we will catch everybody in the next one. Until then, have a good one.